I'm a completely normal person, and in 60 hours, I'll be a completely normal person who made a game. Game development is something that I always found really interesting. As a kid, I started with Scratch. Probably most of you guys did that. But while I had knowledge in some programming languages like Java, C and C++ before, I never worked with a real game engine. Part of that problem was the image of Unity in my head just consisted out of bad games. And once I realized that Unity was capable of more than just crappy 3D browser FPS, I started learning about the game engine a bit. I started practicing with small and easy game ideas, didn't finish any of them yet, and one of my major problems doing this was I knew how to program, I knew a little bit about game design, because I play games, but I didn't know anything about doing the artworks. I couldn't get any artist to help me out with this, and that's basically the reason why I started learning pixel art. And here you can see some of my first results 2 weeks after starting. While I only had 1 or 2 weeks of casual experience in Unity and pixel art, a friend that never even used Unity yet had a great idea to participate in a game jam with me, which basically means we have to develop an actual game in 60 hours. Sure, what could possibly go wrong? So we started to build a team. But professionals have standards. 5 people. Elite forces, years of experience in the science of memes, capable of creating the most epic game ever made. Game jams normally have a theme that the game has to fulfill to force you to get creative and to ensure that the game is actually made during the game jam. So our game jam's theme was read as pack, and you could use this for example as pack of cigarettes, pack of wolves, pack your bag, or what we chose, packages. And after a few hours of brainstorming, our idea was to make a puzzle platformer game in which you get locked in a warehouse and you have to use cardboard packages as puzzle elements to find a way out of there. So at first we made a time map, a player, movement scripts, camera movement and everything else we would need to start. The actual game looked way ugly at this point. I'm just using footage of the later game to spare your eyes. We wanted to have several types of different packages because this would allow for multiple different kinds of puzzle design, and these are the ones we actually added to the game. The standard package. These can be pushed and pulled to be able to reach high rounds, or you can press buttons with them. A fragile package. Works the same way as the standard package, but if it falls to the ground too hard, the glass inside breaks. Or was it broken inside all along? A package that can be opened. We originally wanted to have more than one possible content, but right now you can unbox the package to receive a trampoline. Small carryable packages. The idea behind them is that you can get them over higher obstacles than standard packages, for example by using a trampoline while carrying one of these. Highly flammable packages. These boxes start burning when receiving too much pressure, so avoid jumping on them if you don't want to get roasted. Water packs. I actually had to argue with my team for over an hour that water is definitely not delivered inside of cardboard packages, but if you push them into highly flammable packages, they become harmless. Hardware packages. If these touch water, they send out an electric shock, which can be used to power circuits. We obviously wanted to add way more puzzle mechanics to the game, which sadly wasn't possible due to the 60 hours time limit. But since we're working on a full Steam release of this game, link to the game and Discord server in the description, this will definitely be in there in just a few weeks. An assembly line. They offer a cool way to transport packages through another way than the player will go, and additionally, it gives electronic boxes another use, as their shock could power the assembly line. A scissor lift is a bit like a forklift, but while it is not drivable, it can reach higher locations. A feature which was requested by basically everyone who checked out our game so far was a drivable forklift. Except its coolness, you could use it to get packages to higher locations, but right now it's only a static object standing around lonely in some levels. After we built in all of that, there was some time to focus on small but important details. I designed menu buttons that looked like cardboard packages, as I thought this would be a nice addition to fit the pack theme even more. I made some tilesets to make the levels vary more. The basic tileset for all grounds, framework tileset with some broken elements, and a ventilation tileset. We added lots of player animations, which in my opinion was really important, since this made the player actually feel alive. We also animated intro and outro cutscenes, which contributed a lot to the game's feeling.
Please have a great rest of your evening.
We designed multiple background layers to make parallax scrolling possible, and also animated some packages. Myra created the game's soundtrack and made a ton of sound effects. Then I designed some additional sprites for the game, for example a forklift and a truck. Jonas and me had to do the boring part, meaning this ton of code. We had to fix all the bugs, implement parallax scrolling, which is the 3D effect in 2D games if some of you people didn't know before. We had to code a level reset, where all the boxes and the player in the game gets reset when pressing a certain button or you die in the game. Build a tutorial system so people know what to do in the game without reading the controls page, and even more. As everything we needed and that was possible in time was finished, we had a lot of time left to design beautiful levels, making the game work, putting the cutscenes in the game and everything else, right? So, in reality, as this was our first game jam ever, we didn't know anything about time management and totally ran out of time in the end. We basically had 1 hour left when not a single level was designed and we had no working game yet. So we did everything to somehow finish the game in time, rushing over levels while still trying to build in fun puzzles, learning Unity features we knew nothing about before just minutes before the deadline. And we actually managed to finish the game and uploaded 20 seconds before the deadline. We were so done after that, we didn't even talk to each other, say something like congratulations, we just quit the call and went to sleep. So what are the results? First, everyone in a game jam is a winner. The important part is having fun, learning new things, and you actually have your own game made after this. But actually, after we uploaded our game, we just thought we scrapped something together that was really bad. Actually, we texted our sound designer that we're sorry and our game isn't really good, she shouldn't expect too much. But after we slept our first night after 3 days of straight development, we actually started to like what we made. And we continued development the next day already to fix stuff that was actually bad. Like for example the level design, we had like 20 minutes for that, for the entire game. And people really seemed to like what we made. The best part was when other participants of the game jam started to play our game. We didn't expect much from our first game, but we woke up every morning to some other nice comments of players who seemingly enjoyed what we made. And during the rating period, Midnight Shift became more popular every day. Out of over 1,000 participants and 300 submissions, our game managed to reach 2nd place in popular. Even though some people cheated by rating their own games several times, we still managed to get a really high ranking, especially for our first game. And these are our results. The best we got was 6th place in the game design category. Since we received lots of positive feedbacks while making this, and also had a lot of fun during this, we also decided to make a full Steam release out of this game. For more information, link to the game and the Discord server in the description. Obviously this will be way longer with additional features like a Steam Workshop compatible level editor, a background story, multiple areas with different art styles, etc, etc. I had lots of fun making the game so far and really enjoyed creating this video. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, leave a like and make sure to subscribe. This would actually mean a lot to me since that's basically my first ever YouTube video. See you in a week for a special surprise video.